Okay, so I am recording from September 27th, 2005, my genderqueer entry, as I mentioned on my last video. This is, again, something that I read genderqueer, I analyzed the text, and then I decided I want to create a story that's very similar to the stories that are written and submitted in this collection of stories. So this is kind of my adaptation of my own story. It's all nonfiction, it is based on my real feelings, and it is based on things that I have realized over the years. If I stumble, I apologize. I haven't read this story in a long time, so for me to read my own words, it'll be a little hard because I'm just not used to seeing. I mean, it's from 5 years ago, so it was a long time ago. I was maybe 5 or 6. I was a show-off, ironically and hilariously, because the chicks dig it. I didn't know it then, but I was in love with the girl across the street. She was much older than me, but her curves and features made her attractive to me nonetheless, even with her boyfriend being an obvious hurdle to her heart. Of course, the age thing didn't matter at all. She was also my first. Not the first to have sex with, but the first girl that made me feel anything inside or out. She made me feel gendered and sexy. I used to take off my shirt and strut around the driveway with my flat chest sticking out proud, and I remember I wore my best shorts. I felt powerful and suave and sexy, and it all felt right. Can you imagine a sexy 5-year-old? When I went to an Arizona school, I went to an Arizona school when I was in 4th grade. When I went there, I remembered on my way to the bathroom, the girls in the playground were always making fun of me, and they were asking me if I was really a girl. Didn't I look like a girl? I was an early bloomer, so my once flat chest was now slightly curvaceous. Didn't my early growing breasts make me more of a woman than any of the other girls out there? Wasn't I beating them in the pre-adolescent game of finding my gender? I am really a girl, I yelled back at them. I stepped into the bathroom labeled women, and it felt right. I met someone online. He was identifying as a trans man and changing his name. I have also learned so much about trans people since I have come to ASU. I was in Transformers last year, and I learned so much from Em and Cameron, Jessica, and in the end, myself. I read this book called GenderQueer, which we were all supposed to read for the group and discuss. I finally finished it this last week. It was awesome, and it taught me to not think inside the sexual binary. I have come to the realization that I am not just female, but male also, and that I am also everything in between. It brings a whole new meaning to my or bisexuality. I've also come to the realization that I feel comfortable in my own body for the time being, even if once in a while I dream of having a penis, because I do not wish for society to label me as either male or female based solely on my looks or my social roles, my gendered articles of clothing, etc. within this country that we live in. Think about it. Women who want to become men often start dressing like men and acting like men to fit in with men. And I do not want to fit into anywhere. I am good where I am in my own little multi-gendered world. I will not change names or pronouns. I will simply be who I am with my name that I was given when I received this world and it received me. And I am happy with all that life has given me in this respect. The only thing I will change about myself is my self-perception. I don't want to judge people who I love. Male or female, both, either. To me, there's no such thing as trans. If you feel somewhat or very much that you are one gender more than the other, you're still yourself no matter what. And odds are, I will love you no matter what. Even if you're just a friend, because I realize that it's harder to be whoever you are in this world if this world does not accept you. I just did drag this past Saturday, and my mom was there to watch me. She even helped me bind, and she did my makeup. I dressed in male clothes, strutted my stuff to the beat of Baby Got Back, and got to put my male side out there. Psst, his name is Dirk. And I fell in love again with my flat chest. it all felt right. So there's my story. It's not very long, but I wanted to read it to you guys. You know, comments are appreciated, but we all have different ideas about gender and sexuality and how they play into each other and the whole LGBTQIA realm out there. And at the time that I wrote this, you know, I was very passionate about not living in a sexual binary, and I still am passionate about being that in between, but I've been realizing more and more that I have that I really want to move towards a masculine outlook. But at the same time, you know, there's too many thoughts out there, there's too many things that scare me, so I'm staying where I have been the last 5 years. You know, maybe with technological advances or something like that, I might be able to accept a transition from female to male, but even if I transition into a male body, I'm not sure that I will feel that I am 100% complete, because the way that I am now and who I am now is what I have been given. And, you know, I'm not going to get all, like, super religious, but I do believe in God, in the sense that I believe that God is whatever we want God to be, and for me, God is, like, faith and fate and love and lust and all those things that you can't really see rolled into one. And so for me, because if fate is a part of that, you know, I was born with this body, and I feel that I deserve this body. This is the body that I was given, and so I don't necessarily want to scar it and paint it and put it through that that torture to be something that I wasn't meant to be. And I know that other trans people will say, well, if you feel like you should be that, then you should be that. But the thing is I feel that I should be two different things, and everything in between, and everything on the outside, I should be something completely different. And I know that's hard for trans people to sometimes attach themselves to mentally, because for true trans people, you're going from one gender to the other gender, or from one sex to the other sex. You're making your body match how you feel on the inside, and that's great, but you're still sticking to a binary. You're still replicating the gender roles and the gendered acts and behaviors that are out there in our society, and I, because I'm so ridiculously crazy and passionate, I want to live somewhere outside of that, or in between all of that. I don't want somebody to mistakenly say, that's a dyke, when they look at me, because I don't identify myself as a dyke. I don't identify myself as a lesbian. But at the same time, I don't want them to say, there's a straight man with that girl. I don't want to be identified as a straight man either, because I feel like I live within the realm of queer politics and queer people. So anyway, that's a whole lot of things, and I still believe a lot of it, but some of it is, you know, pushing me more towards one direction. But I'm still scared. I still have those feelings that, you know, they need to be worked out before I could say yes to a transition. And so right now I am living in that, and I've always been rebellious, and always been the person, since I was 16, the person that said, I'm not going to go with A or B, I'm going to go with choice C, that I make myself, that is very unfavored and unpopular, and that nobody wants to identify themselves with. And I will identify with that, and I will create a power with that, and I will create a space, and I will make others feel welcome in that space. And so that's really my outlook on it now, and it's always kind of been my outlook on a lot of things. So if you all agree or don't agree or whatever, I appreciate your thoughts, and please tell me your thoughts if you feel like it. I'm just saying these are my thoughts, and I hope I don't offend people with it, even though I tend to offend people all the time with other things. You know, I understand there's a sensitivity, and I just want you to know that I belong to a community where there's a sensitivity as well, and so we should all be open-minded about our own ideas and things like that. So anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope to talk to you later this week. I have a lot to say, hopefully, in my life journal. I'm gonna go through some more entries and try to find more stories for you guys, and have a good day. I will talk to you later.